It's Christmas weekend, and it's been about a month since I have been out hiking. I've just been really busy with other things, especially trying to get my last video out. For some reason, lots of problems editing it. I don't know what happened, but anyways, I actually ended up getting some new shoes since I last went hiking because the shoes that I had were definitely worn out, like completely worn out. So let me show you what I used to have for shoes and what I just bought, and I'm going to go test out on the trail today. These are my Xero excursion shoes that I've had for just about a year now. Future Colin here, and I forgot to mention what these shoes actually are. So these are a minimalist kind of barefoot shoe. They're not really a barefoot shoe, they're more just kind of a minimalist shoe. The purpose of them is not to offer support to your feet. It's basically just to protect you from sharp rocks, things like that, and to provide you with extra grip on the bottom. All the boots featured in this video today are waterproof hiking boots. These are very lightweight, very minimal. The reason why I bought these boots is because they have high tops and they're waterproof, and so they keep your feet dry, and that's kind of important around here in the rainy Northwest. They've actually held up pretty well. I've put a lot of miles on these things, working as a delivery driver and then just hiking around a bit. And you can see they're a little bit dirty, but otherwise they actually look like they're in decent shape. The shoelaces are a little bit extra crispy now. They used to be kind of elastic, and now they are not elastic whatsoever. And that makes it really difficult to keep them tied. I have holes. There's one small hole here forming, another one over there in that corner. And underneath you can still see the tread pattern, but it's essentially just completely worn down to the point where it's kind of dangerous. And I found last time I went for a hike that the traction just wasn't good enough anymore, and so it's time to retire these shoes, unfortunately. And here is the replacement. So this is the Xero Ridgeway, and I think it's a newer model. I don't remember seeing it when I bought my excursions last year. But it's a much nicer looking shoe, a little bit nicer quality materials. You can see that the shoelace is now flat. It's still somewhat elastic, but the flat shoelace is actually a welcome addition. The loops up here at the top actually do kind of make it a little bit difficult to put the shoe on, but otherwise they do feel a little bit more solid. And the sole kind of looks similar, but it feels very different. So this chevron pattern in the middle of the sole is basically the same. I'm not really sure why there's these kind of tan inset parts, but around the chevron pattern, we now have these ridges here. There's also some at the front, which is a little bit different than the old shoe. And you can feel that this is a much softer rubber than what was on my old excursions. These shoes are much more flexible. They're not the most flexible shoes out there, but they are still much more flexible than your typical hiking boot. I think these were slightly more expensive than the excursions, but they do look significantly better. So I thought I'd give these a shot, and I have been wearing them, as you can see by all the dirt and stuff that's on them, just around town, mostly to go to the grocery store, things like that. So I figured now that I've had time to break them in, I should take them out hiking. So it's a sunny day today. I am looking forward to this drive. I just have to find a trail that isn't super crowded, which could be difficult on a holiday weekend like this, but like I said, I haven't been hiking in a month, so it's time to get back out there again. You can see how difficult it is to put on this shoe. For whatever reason, it's really hard for me to get my heel in over the heel of the shoe and actually into the shoe. That's the only real problem I've had with these shoes though. Well, I haven't been on that big of a hike in a while, and I loved it. I need to head home though, and there we can talk about how the shoes performed. Well, I have made it back. That was a really fun hike. I haven't done that particular trail before. I've been up Tiger Mountain to a different viewpoint, but I've never been to this particular one. So that was really cool to see. But let me put my stuff down and let's talk about the shoes. So I'm actually really happy with these shoes. I did have a couple of problems with the old Xero shoes that I have, and it was mostly to do with the soles. They were just a little bit too hard. I'm not really sure why, but it just was a little bit too hard of a plastic for the soles. These don't seem to have that problem. These have a nice soft sole, they're very grippy, and I did slip a couple of times, but that was just because of loose gravel, mud, like really deep mud, things like that. But these did a really fantastic job. I walked in a variety of terrain today. There was dirt, mud, gravel, snow, ice, and these actually gripped everything really well. I was a little bit concerned about the ice because just regular shoes don't usually do particularly well on the ice, but these did as well as any shoe I've ever had. So I couldn't be happier. The other thing I really like about these that I discovered is you can feel the ground a lot more than I could in my old Xero excursions, and I really like that. It's not quite to the point where I can grab onto rocks with my toes like I do with my summer hiking shoes, but these are as good as it's going to get for a boot that works the rest of the year. Anyways, if you want to check out those boots, feel free to look at the link in the description below.